to effectively exploit the branding of Nigerians as criminals to the rest of the world. The countries and organizations behind the foreign media presence in our country need our people to behave in ways that support our exploitation. In Nigeria, there are some specific tactics that the foreign 1%, usually European 1%, spend money on to make sure their narrative gets properly embedded into the minds of our people. I am going to describe 3 of them. Although, these are not all of the tricks that they try to con us with. Firstly, they ensure we hear their narrative in our own languages. In 2017, in the biggest expansion of the BBC World Service since 1940, an overseas development grant from the UK Foreign Office of £289 million enabled the creation of online news services in the Nigerian languages of Pidgin, Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa, and 4 of the major languages spoken in East Africa. Why is it that as of 2024, only a foreign company gives us news stories about our country in our 4th most spoken language, Pidgin? And the country spending money on this is less than a third of the size of us by population and a quarter by amount of land. They must really want our people to understand what they are saying. And what does the UK government so desperately want to sell to us that makes it hard to create news in our major languages to ensure that we heard them? What are the very same people that colonized us and supposedly left trying to sell to us? It has to be more than products and services, because they were already doing that with their adverts. It has to be ideas and ways of looking at, interpreting, and understanding the world outside Nigeria. Secondly, they recruit Nigerians to present these narratives about the wider world. So foreign media stories about Nigeria are presented by Nigerians to Nigerians. This makes the stories feel more authoritative, because even if you respect your next door neighbor, you are more likely to actually listen to something your cousin is saying. This is why the Chinese government created the China Global Television Network, Africa in English, presented by Nigerians.
Here at CGTN, we realize that Africa is on the move, and it's moving fast, but we're moving right along with it. I'm Ucheo Koronkwo, and I'm a business anchor and reporter at CGTN.
It is why Al Jazeera English has Nigerian presenters.
Hi, I'm Femi OK. On today's episode of The Stream, 3 out of 0.
It is why Deutsche Welle has Nigerian presenters.
I'm Michael Oku. Welcome. Israel.
It is why CNN Africa uses West African presenters.
I am Nigerian by blood, British by birth, and American by residence. One World is a place where Africa has an equal seat at the global table alongside Europe, the Americas, and Asia. Every continent has a voice, and where everyone watching has a stake in the global conversation.
One World with Zain Asher, weeknights on CNN.
But these presenters are usually not the actual reporters, the writers, the editors who design the narratives that they get our citizens to sell to us. It is not our people who are providing context and creating analysis to derive meaning from events. We are not the editors-in-chief who design the narrative strategies, decide which stories get told about us and which remain unheard. But if Nigerians are presenting the stories on CNN, then the tale must be true because one of us is speaking it from a world-class news outlet. The foreign media companies may occasionally say good things about our country, but they utilize Nigerians and other African nationals in very manipulative ways. Any consumer of media content will naturally assume that a citizen of a country will always be slightly biased towards saying good things about their own nation. A foreigner is probably going to be more objective. So they make sure that when good things are said about Nigeria, a Nigerian is the only one saying it, not them. You will never see their presenters saying good things about other countries, unless they are also making a comparison against their own country. And their own country ends up looking better. They will also ensure that if they want a foreign country to be praised, then it will be a Nigerian or other African who delivers that praise, because that looks unbiased. Foreign media will never display a negative narrative about their own country. And if they can get Nigerians to talk down on our own country, well, that's even better. When narratives are presented this way, the Nigerian viewer will assume that foreign countries are better than Nigeria, because the most believable presenter is the unbiased foreign presenter who always says that a foreign country is good and that Nigeria is bad. So, if the Nigerian viewer of foreign media should become a Nigerian tourist, they will naturally try to find the good things about the foreign place that they saw on TV, to take pictures and show off to their friends back home, who also saw the same foreign media narratives, but now have people that they trust, who can confirm that the stories about the foreign better thing are real. For those organizations that are state propaganda, BBC, CGTV, DW, they will intentionally select Africans as presenters if they want their content to be paid attention to by Africans. So, they will show content with a particular presenter that you like, hoping that this makes you favorably inclined to watch their other content with different presenters. An example of this approach is what Deutsche Welle, or DW, has done with Tayo Ania, a successful Nigerian YouTuber who creates travel and lifestyle content.
Hi everyone, it's Tayo Ania here for DW Travel, reporting from Lagos, Nigeria. I am currently in the center of the city at a place called...
Tayo was hired to present a series of travel shows, highlighting West and East Africa, because travel reporting is his area of professional expertise. These documentaries are not in German. They are in English. They are targeted at people outside Germany to encourage them to think favorably of DW. The mindset and approach to understanding the word that DW is explicitly commissioned to promote, and therefore to encourage people to think favorably of trading with Germany and the European Union. DW recruited Tayo because of his African subscribers. Nowogh Talks reached out to Mr. Ania, but he did not respond to comment on this. The third tactic that the foreign media companies use in Nigeria is to build partnerships with Nigerian media firms, saying that they are doing this so we can share each other's foreign content. Channels TV partners with BBC Africa, so Channels gets foreign content, and BBC Africa gets access to Nigerian journalists and their content. Arewa 24 and Al Jazeera English have partnered, so Al Jazeera English can be dubbed into Hausa and shown to the viewers of Arewa 24. TVC has in the past partnered with BBC Africa to get access to foreign sports programming. But do you see the trick here? Foreign firms are getting access to Nigerian reporters, Nigerian news content, and Nigerian media consumers, the viewers. But by being the providers of foreign content to Nigerians, they are giving a financial incentive to Nigerian media firms to not invest in our own international operations. They are actively keeping Nigerian news organizations out of the international market, so they get to control what Nigerians see, hear, and analyze about foreign events. They get to control the narrative and meaning that Nigerians attribute to what goes on outside Nigeria by restricting Nigerian international reporting capability. Nigerian media firms have a problem. They don't have many Nigerian journalists on the ground in foreign countries. Nigerian media could hire more journalists, but before our firms even start trying to recruit for international positions, foreign news organizations will turn up at our offices and sell the idea of partnering as a cheaper and easier way to solve our problem of not having foreign correspondents. They say, let's do business properly. Make a proper partnership deal instead of just buying and reusing foreign content. But they only describe this conceptual hazard of having no international reporters in the broadest terms. They won't describe the potential risks resulting from a lack of international capability. The full story may not be known. The narrative will be what the foreign editor wanted to be told. The Nigerian context is not explained. Because if the foreign news organization overtly described those risks, then our news organizations would respond by doing something to control them. Or even worse for the foreign company, they might do something to prevent them by then investing in our own reporters, editors, and videographers. And then the foreign firm will not only be unable to sell their content, they will be unable to frame and present the facts in the stories that get repeated to our citizens. If you compare this business practice to what I said earlier about securitization, everyone knows that you prevent security problems in a country by creating jobs. But foreign governments will only talk about the facts of dangerous events for our citizens and their frequency and the overall hazard of insecurity. This is so they get to frame this into a solution of selling their armaments, militarizing our police, convincing us to terrorize our citizens, scaring our most capable people who could be creating jobs into leaving our country, and then solving our security problems for us. When they were the people who aggravated it to make themselves money by making it easy for Nigerian firms to incorporate foreign news content, to just rebroadcast it without re-editing. We Nigerians on our own will end up telling the foreign negative narrative of comparing Nigeria's incapability against their capability. They will make it easy to take their content, but only in ways that will maintain their narrative. The narrative of them being better than us. And the average Nigerian will not see that anything is wrong. Most Nigerians will not see the semiotics, the hidden implied meanings in how foreign content is presented. And in this, I mean all content, not just news reports. Nigerians will not see that these people and organizations will utilize facts that are individually truthful to tell a narrative that is a lie. You may say, but these things and events are true. They did happen. Yes, they did. But whilst the facts are true, the narrative that they build around them is a lie. I have tried to show some of the strategies and tactics that the foreign media utilize to make money for themselves and for the foreign nations that they represent. To stay aware as Nigerians, to not be played, listen to all the semiotics. The dog whistling to your prejudices, the repetition of their stereotypes, the appeals to your predilections, your preferences. The foreign media's repetition of these things is all designed to control you and to make sure that you think the way they want you to think about them. We often don't notice that this is happening to us because we expect a string of truthful facts to be describing a tale that is also true. But they package those truths into a falsehood so neatly that we naturally want to tell others. And this spreads and repeats a lie. When you hear something different, that Nigeria or Nigerians are capable, this feels weird. The narratives of our incapability have been told to us so often and so repeatedly that when a different explanation of the same facts is given, you will experience cognitive dissonance because this does not match the lie that you have been told for years. So, don't accept their stories as true. Don't just take my narrative as truth. Think and consider what is true for yourself. Because one fact that is true is that the purpose of many of these foreign news organizations is to present their countries as better than Nigeria. When these foreign media firms are actually state-sponsored organizations like the BBC, CGTV, DW, or Al Jazeera. They actually say that is why they exist. By treating them as reputable news organizations, we are trading real news, facts, and information for propaganda, distortions, and sales pitches for foreign goods and services, and not truth about what is actually happening outside our country. Thank you for watching this video. In the next part in this series, I will be talking about how we as Nigerian citizens must be resisting the criminal branding of our country. How we can support our government, which is trying hard to give us tools to fight against foreign control of our media. And what practical things you can be doing as an individual. Please support Nowogh Talks by hitting the like button and subscribing. Hit the notification button below and also leave a comment so that we can continue the discussion.